think it's working now. We shall see. Hi everyone, how are you today? I hope you are enjoying your lunch while you are watching Lunch with Laura. I'm Laura Lee Collet from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and my website is stampingatthebirdnest.com. Today I'm going to show you one of the new sweets that is in the brand new catalog. You're going to be able to order from this very soon. May is fast approaching, and I just want to give you a little tease about some of the wonderful things we've got coming up. I'm so excited, and I hope you will be too. So let's see. Okay, this is the card that we're going to be making today. It is called the Sunset Coast Sweet, and here is the stamp set, and it has some really great sayings in it. So this is image and words, and this is the one we're going to be using today. Wherever this note finds you, and then on the inside, I'm going to put, I hope it finds you happy. But it also has congratulations, happy retirement, happy anniversary, the adventure continues, you brighten my day. And then the stamps, there are two that are sailboats. There's some clouds. This is a rock formation, and you can two-step stamp by putting that on top. You've got the water, the clouds, and the sun. These are the dies that come with it. There are 12 dies in the set. You get one that I guess you could call sun rays. There are 3 different size seagulls. You have some shells, the cloud. This is the other die. It's to cut out the lighthouse, and I saw a tip where someone had done this, and when you look at it and you think that it's straight, like if you're looking down here and you think it's straight, look what happens to the lighthouse. So you kind of need to pay attention to where that's, so that that's straight up and down, unless you want it leaning. And then the water and the coast is down here. Okay, just that little tip. Let's see what else it offers. Okay, this is the one we're going to be doing today. And you'll notice that you're going to be cutting out, I don't know what kind of dies you call this, but instead of it cutting out a circle with the sailboat in the middle, you use it on another piece of paper that you can have a border around. I hope that makes sense. There's some little fences here. There's that formation that you saw in the stamp. Netting, I always love that, and 2 little tiny sailboats there. So let's see what we're going to be doing with this today. Oh, I didn't show you the piece de resistance. This is the designer paper, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has a shimmer on every single page. And let's see, I think there are maybe 6 different sets, but they are all just amazing. There you got a lot of the shimmer in that. Yeah, you can see that. And I mean, these just make the most beautiful cards. Let's look at the back. All right, you've got just some solids. Now this is the one we're going to be using today. There's is it crushed curry? Okay, the colors that are in this are the balmy blue, which is one of my favorite blues, blueberry bushel, which is what we're going to use as the card base today. Crushed curry, so that's what this color is. Gorgeous grape. Highland heather, which is a little bit lighter. And I don't think there's a solid of that. There may be. Nope. And strawberry slush, which comes out in here. So you can see some of the, like here's the Highland heather in here. So the lighter shade of the gorgeous grape, I guess you could say. So I'm going to set this aside, and everything's coming up in our new catalog. And in case you have not heard, we are going from one annual catalog to 3 catalogs during the year. They'll be focusing on a couple of sweets in here. Some things will carry over. All of the tools and things that you need like that will be in each catalog. So we've got something new and different coming up that I hope you're going to love, instead of having to look through all these different catalogs throughout the year. Now, okay, let's get busy here. As I mentioned, the paper I'm using is called Blueberry Bushel. This is the DSP or Designer Series paper that I've chosen to show. Then we'll have a layer on top. And in fact, I think I'm going to use this other one. I kind of went crazy with my cutter and didn't center the sun in this one. See how it's centered here? Oop. Okay, there you go. See how it's centered here? So I'm going to use that and do a little bit different thing for that piece of DSP. So let's get going here. And the first thing I'm going to do, and let me remind you of something that's really easy, and I know it only takes a few seconds, but it does speed things along. If you will cut, before you cut your paper. Now, I do a lot of cards. I'm not a one-of-a-kind girl. I do multiple cards, and I set it up in assembly line. And when I'm going to get ready to cut my paper, I have to think about the orientation that I want. Do I want the card to be this way, open here, or it could be this way and open like that? Or do I want it the other way, and I don't, where it would open this way, or you could stand it up. I didn't bring a paper cut like that. But what I do is, once I've figured out the orientation, then I turn my cardstock and take it over to the Simply Scored, and I go ahead and score my whole sheet of paper. After I've done all that for however many sheets I'm going to use, then I go ahead and cut it. So that's just a little, so I always like to score before I cut. Okay, now, and I'm going to have it obviously go up and down so that you don't have to stand on your head to look at the sunset there. And I'm going to adhere this with our seal. It's important to keep your fingers out of the glue. Okay, so that's going there. And then we've got a piece going on the inside, but we're going to do that in a little bit, okay? So I'm going to set this aside, and first thing we need to do is to score to die cut our image. Now, I had my class the other night, and a couple of the girls, this is the I Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. What a mouthful. Anyway, this is the mini, and we were using it because these dies will fit in the mini. Okay, you can turn it sideways or you can do it like this. Well, we're going to have it oriented this way to go through here. Now, some said they were having a little trouble with it cutting all the way through. And this is something to remember for both the mini and the mama cut and emboss machine. Every machine is a little bit different. And if you find that your cutting is not going, it's not cutting a full image. Let's see how this one does. There are a couple of tricks I can tell you to give a try and see if that will, let me grab my tape, oops, see if that'll fix the problem. One thing that you can do, and I guess I better be showing it to you, right? Okay, one thing that you can do, first I'm going to make my sandwich. And remember that it's especially important on the mini cut and emboss machine that your 3 plates are like a sandwich, but the middle one needs to be offset towards you. Just a little bit so that those, and I've got this crooked, so that the, I can't think what you call them, the little things that mash down and bring it through, the roller, will catch. So let's see how this turns out. Okay, I've got it centered. I'm going to push it through, and I'm left-handed, so I'm going to go through, and sometimes I like it to go back through when you have something that's intricately cut. So let's see if this went all the way through. And it looks like it did, so let's take this off and see. So you're going to have this piece in the middle is going to be just trash. And then the inside, you have some water. Let's see, did that cut all the way? No. And here, so let me show you what to do. Whenever you have that happen, you can fit the die back in here, okay? Kind of like a puzzle piece. Fit it back in and run it through again. But I'm going to show you something. Sometimes you need a shim. A shim is just a little thin piece of paper that you put underneath the first cutting board and run it through, and it gives just a little more thickness, gets it closer to the gizmo that cuts it out. So I'm going to try folding a piece of just, this is computer paper, and we're just going to test this and see if it works. So I'm going to put it right here on plate 1. I'll put plate 2, and remember it's going to be offset a little bit. Then I want to make sure that my die is right back in the same cut lines. And see, I can move my finger and you can see that it is in there correctly. So then I'm going to add this on top, and let's see if just that little boost makes it go through. Okay, see, I didn't have my my sandwich quite right. There we go. And remember that these will only work, the little machines will only work for 3.5 inches. Okay, let's see if that did it. Okay. Oops, Looks like it tore, but it did cut. So let's do another one. I just happen to have another sheet. And we're going to try that again, okay? Let's see if it works this time. Don't you love to play and experiment? This is fun, seeing what works and what doesn't work. Okay, no wait, I don't have that right on there, and I didn't put any tape down, which I need to do, just to make sure that it doesn't wiggle when it goes through. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Oops. Okay. I'm going to run it back. Just make sure that it cuts this time. Come on. Sometimes you have to give it a little, it gets a little stiff there. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, like I said, we're going to throw this piece away. And let's see if it cut everything out. Okay, looks like we might be in business this time. There's one little piece right here, okay. And I'm going to take my pick tool and punch out any of these little things for the sailboat. Okay, now that worked great, and all it was for my machine was double thickness of computer sheet. Now I also got a piece of, many times in our 12 by 12 designer packs of paper, we have a thin cardboard, very thin, and I was going to try that next, but I didn't need to. So if you're having trouble with it not cutting all the way through, that's what you need to do. Okay, now we get into some real fun. We are going to be embossing today. Who doesn't like to emboss? It's like magic when it comes together. All right, I'm going to take all of this, set aside, and there is my sailboat. And as you can see, now I was trying to, let me see if this is, well, one of the papers had some little speckles on it. So I took a stamp from another stamp set that had sand. And what I'm going to try, I thought this was a little heavy, so I'm going to try stamping off first. So we'll see how that works. Okay, need my Versamark pad. And I'm going to have my white embossing powder. This is called Wow Embossing Powder. It's in the catalog, and there are 3 to the set. Black, white, and clear, I believe, and then there's another set of metallics. So, let's see. I am going to stamp this up real well. And I'm going to put it right in the middle. And I forgot to use my embossing buddy. Okay, you can see that it's on there. So let me see how this works if I stamp off and then and this is sticky, as you can see. Okay. Here comes move this out of the way, and these are all my tools that I use. So I have a little spoon, or you can just shake it on, and I'm just going to shake it on since it's kind of in different spots. So let's see. And I like to, okay, we've got some stuff where I don't want it. So I'm going to take my brush. I should have used my embossing buddy, but I forgot. I'm just going to brush away anything that I don't want. Of course, those kind of look like spots, like sand. So I may not worry about them too much. But this little place up here, yeah, I don't want that in there. Okay, all right. Now let's see for the real magic. And I guess I never really used a lot of embossing powder because it's such a mess. Well, thanks to YouTube and one of our smart demonstrators, I found out that, now I'm going to have to talk over the noise, that it is best to, after you heat it up, put it in one spot at a time. And I kind of go in circles. When this does get hot, but you can see it melt right in front of you. And that's what I love. Okay, and I do have a few stray things. If I had used the embossing buddy, this takes the static off. You don't want to use a whole lot because then it won't come off, but it might show. But anyway, that's the way we're going to do this one. And now this is going to go right on top, and I'm going to put some large dimensionals. I'm going to put one on the sailboat. And in fact, I'm going to move my paper since it still has a little embossing powder on it. So take the backs off and center it right where it needs to be. Okay, now there you have it. Wherever this note finds you, now on the inside we're going to put the sentiment, and I'm going to stamp it in the, let me make sure. Oops, you know what, I don't have my stamp over here. So what I'm going to show you that I do is to I didn't have my stamp with my other things. Oh well. What I like to do too is to decorate the inside with some of the pieces that were cut off from your designer paper. This might not be the exact one, but it's close enough, and I'm going to put this on the inside. And let's get that started. And I'm just going to put it right over on the edge, just to decorate that a little bit. Okay, and then I would stamp my, if I knew I could run over there and find it right quick, I'd get it. But anyway, it says to hope this finds you happy. And I'm just going to put some adhesive right there and stick it on the inside. And there's the inside of your card. Wherever this finds you, I hope it's someplace happy. Now, let me just, you can add some sparkles to it if you want. And I just think it makes a great card. Now, do you notice anything different? I messed up on this one, so I flipped it over. And to me, you can hardly tell the difference. So this is the way it should look right there. So, okay. Well, I hope that gives you some ideas. There's some really good ideas in the catalog where you see the sweets. They'll have some card samples, or sometimes they have scrapbook pages. So take a look at all those and see if that kind of gives you a little burst of energy and gives you some ideas, especially when you get stuck. So until next time, I will see you next Thursday. Have a great week, and spring is on the way. It's going to be here. I don't know if it's next week when we meet, but sometime very close. So enjoy the weather and have a great day. See you next time. Love you. Bye.